Alrighty, guys, hello and welcome to Chair League. I am your host, Jayzon, joined once again by Reaper of War for this Division 1 match. Thanks for joining me, Reaper.
Thanks for having me again, Jay. And we do see Brax's holdout as a first pick map, and the games usually last about 18 to 19 minutes.
Yeah, if that here. It's a very snowbally map here on Braxis. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the old Haunted Mines, but we do have the Regulators and we play for keeps. And man, these guys are going off the rails with this draft, just leaving us behind. Sylvanas, a pretty standard ban out here on Braxis with her ability to aid the push of those Zerg, shutting down those towers. Samuru, kind of your constant go-to ban for that second response ban, since nobody's been wanting to see him played lately, it seems like. And Malfurion already picked up with ETC and Kael'thas for Regulators, so they're starting with the Holy Trinity. Really nice damage dealer, good wave clear, good CC, and really good heals. But we do see Vala and Ariel on the other side so far, so they've got a good solid combo. Somebody, the Ariel, who's very, very good at those burst AoE heals, and Vala, who's also very good at feeding that energy supply. So right away, Reaper, these guys, they know what they want, and they're building their comps around it already.
And the shotgun picks, and I wonder if we're going to see any Rexar, Solar Lane Rexar Chan coming out. Maybe some bans on it. There is the Tychus.
Yeah, right away we see we play for keeps. Gonna go ahead and take the Tychus out here. They've already got their auto attack damage, and it does, again, kind of foreshadow that they want to go double tank here. So we could be seeing maybe a Muradin coming out here in this next pick, maybe trying to go with another one of those beefy frontliners like a Chen, or maybe Rexar. So we'll have to see exactly what we play for keeps wants. But the question is, what are the Regulators going to ban out?
Well, they could take away the Muradin pick here, but they might aim more for damage, and there it is. Li Ming's banned out.
So they've already got Kael'thas, not only one of the best wave clearers in the game, but also one of the most prominent burst damage dealers in the game. We've seen Kael'thas starting to rise back with a lot of these stun-oriented CC kind of heroes like ETC and Malfurion. Kael'thas just able to offer a lot of follow-up with that, with the damage and the CC to be able to follow that up. And so they do go ahead and ban out Li Ming, which is probably one of, if not the... Oh, but the Cho'Gall coming out here from We Play for Keeps.
And I'm excited about this pick. Very strong in lane. We'll see. It's going to be interesting what they pick to counter this now.
Well, and I'll tell you what, Cho'Gall pairs very, very well with Ariel, and of course, Tychus is off the board, so they don't have to worry about that. But one thing I am concerned with here, Reaper, when you've got Cho'Gall, that means you've got one less body on the map to be able to rotate through these and pick up those beacons. It's an automatic disadvantage for trying to capture the map objective.
Well, you got the good pairing with Ariel and Vala already. Ariel and Cho'Gall. It will be tough, but Cho'Gall in a lane alone. But now with the Leoric pick, a great counter for Cho'Gall. So very interesting.
Yeah, they're going to be seeing... I imagine they're going to be trying to go for some kind of percentage damage base here. I imagine you got to get yourself a giant killer. They've got their two frontliners. Could still try and get Lunara, but there are a lot of heroes that still have that giant killer type of mechanic. Maybe a Rainer here. What do you think, Reaper? They got one last pick, and they've got plenty of time to make it.
Well, it looks like they may place Leoric in a solo lane, so they could also go with Thrall, great giant killer. I'm not so sure about Falstad. There is the Thrall pick.
Yeah, so they're electing to go pretty frontline heavy. It's going to give them a good solid presence on these beacons, being able to get right up in the face of We Play for Keeps and that big Cho'Gall, and being able to harass him off of these points. The question is, are we going to see another frontliner here? You would imagine that you would want some kind of bruiser. Sonya's still on the table. They've still got a good selection of tanks if they want to go with another big, meaty frontliner.
And to tell you the truth, Cho'Gall doesn't really have the CC they need for the team, so they may grab another frontliner here, another strong frontliner, maybe an Alarak we could see. That's a possibility. Or maybe even paired with a bruiser.
Yeah, right now they're all sustained though. Sustained aerial heals and sustained damage from Gaul and Vala. They've got no burst. So we'll have to see if maybe, yeah, I think Alarak might be the right answer, Reaper. I think you're really onto something there. Alarak, not only that good presence in the front line, but also can deal a massive amount of burst damage to be able to aid in the sustain that's already on the team here with Gaul and Vala.
And the big silences and pushes, you can't forget about that. But they do grab the Zagara. Very interesting combo.
Yeah, so they are going all sustain all day here for the side of We Play for Keeps. I think they're looking not so much to get the map objectives, but just looking to be able to pressure lanes. Like you said, Cho'Gall can be a very big presence in a lane. They've got their solo laner in Zagara that's going to be on the other end. And Cho'Gall, Vala, and Ariel could be a pretty potent combo to have to go against here if they put them together in one lane, being able to probably hold at least one of these beacons through most of the match, but also being able to put a lot of pressure on that lane.
Now, Cho'Gall also has to be worried about the Leoric presence. He gets any drain lives on Cho'Gall, and you'll watch his health fall rapidly. He's got to avoid those at all costs.
Yeah, for sure. He's it's gonna be interesting to see how they play around this Cho'Gall. We don't get to see a whole lot of Cho'Gall play, but here we are. They're pulling it out right from the very beginning here in this Division 1 Chair League match. The Regulators and We Play for Keeps here on Braxis Holdout. If you had a prediction to give me, who do you think's got this one just based on the draft, Reaper?
Oh, that's really tough. I do like the Regulars lineup, though. A solid 3 front line, the Kael'thas with the damage and the healing from Malfurion. Now, on the other hand, if Cho'Gall's played right, can be a devastating force paired with Vala and Zagara's Maws. Like, Cho pull him in, blow him up, quick Maw, and then it's just going to be exciting. Like, I like seeing new heroes used in drafts. It's always exciting.
I agree with you. It's not something that we get to see every day. So it's really an interesting dynamic that We Play for Keeps is going to throw at us here. It's worked for us a few times. I know that you and I have some experience with this Cho'Gall Ariel combo, and it is a very powerful combo.
And you know they wanted it from the beginning. They locked it in really quick.
Yeah, right away they got Vala, they got they got Ariel, and they got that ban out, so they knew exactly what they wanted. But on the left here, we do have the Regulators as we have loaded in to Braxis Holdout. We're going to have Rupp playing ETC. Team Captain Nate Dogg is going to be playing Leoric. ST Monkeys on Kael'thas. Malfurion is going to be played by Noir. And we're going to have Terrax on Thrall.
And on the right side, on the red side, We Play for Keeps. Laz on the Ariel, Virus on Cho, Super Tall on Gaul, Huron on Vala, and Wee Man on Zagara. Let the action begin, guys.
Yeah, right away we do have the 2 solo laners going to the top. It's going to be that Thrall versus Zagara that we see so often in that solo lane 1v1. And we are going to see the sort of 3, sort of 4v4 down here with Cho'Gall leading the charge. Right away, Rupp getting a nice CC combo started here, and it is going to be the full 3-man CC. Already, they've got Cho'Gall down to half health.
Nate's hitting all of his drain lives, and that's very important on Leoric. He's very squish up front, but as long as he's hitting that, he can stay in the fight.
And Rupp just keeps going around here, down around the bottom to be able to slide up into Virus and being able to get that stun out on Cho'Gall to start these. And you're right, that drain life already paying dividends for Nate Dogg with that Leoric pick. So already getting a lot of these well taps. Laz kind of struggling to be able to keep up with Noir here in the healing game with not as much damage going out at this stage of the match. It's gonna be rough to be able to keep that Cho'Gall health pool up. Meanwhile, these of course Noir with this Malfurion pick can constantly have the sustained heals rolling on every single one of these members to keep them nice and topped up for the side of the Regulators.
And I'm figuring with the Regulators here, they have a stronger rotation as well. They can take one of those tanks and rotate top if need be.
Yeah, we'll have to see which one decides to pull off that gentleman's agreement to go to leave the solo laners up top. You know it's going to happen. It's just a matter of which team sees it coming when it does happen. Right away, we do see a positional advantage here, though, for the Regulators. They're actually going to catch both of these beacons early, Reaper, and they've got it started. Heron getting very, very low from Nate Dogg and that Drain Life. Ton of harass coming out. And Terrax holding that top for a little while there. But Wee Man's got something to say about that as he comes back in. And they're going to be poking back and forth. But, Cho'Gall getting so very low here is going to actually have to get back and give Laz a little bit of time to get those heals out. He's actually going to go straight back to the Hall of Storms to get that health back.
With their disadvantage on the bottom, Zagara needs to come clutch for the top, and he really needs to enforce that throw and hold that point strong.
Yeah, right now Wee Man, though, is doing a nice job. Terrax struggling against Wee Man up here. Is actually going to hit the root and go in, but gets completely blown up by Wee Man and those Banelings. Incredible, and you're right. That is clutch right now to be some relief here for We Play for Keeps as they try to start to push into this bottom beacon.
And that was the kill they need, and a quick rotation by Leoric. Smart play by him, but Zag will get the experience top lane, and they will capture both points on the map right now.
Oh, and Heron hitting that clutch-hungering arrow. Also going to take out Noir here. ST Monkeys is going to have to go back. And this is a huge turn by We Play for Keeps. They get that kill in the top. Nate Dogg has to rotate up top to get the XP back. And we see a nice capitalization on that for the side of We Play for Keeps. They went in deep and they got it done. And they're going to be rewarded with this 100 Zerg push down in the bottom lane.
And I mean, with their lack of wave clear, Cho'Gall is going to be a force to reckon with this push. He will be strong.
Yeah, and here come the Zerg down in the bottom. You can see they've already really softened up this bottom lane. It's been a nice job by Virus and Super Tall of leading the charge on that, being able to take out that entire front wall. And now the fort is under siege, and this is going to be before even the 5-minute mark here, Reaper. They are taking down the first fort of the game. They're starting to snowball this. In the top lane, Terrax doing a nice job of at least capitalizing on what little Zerg push there is in the top, being able to push around Wee Man a little bit. But ultimately, the big story here is a full level lead has been gained by We Play for Keeps in this bottom lane.
And Thrall is doing great work in the top. It looks like he could possibly get 2 towers here, but he's got to play somewhat safe, because it looks like he's going to get rotated on here by Vala. This could be dangerous.
Yeah, and Heron is coming in, is going to start that chase down, and a ton of damage coming out here, and is going to be cut off by those Banglings. Could not make a beeline back for the fort, and you're right, that is going to be a very nice pick from the side of We Play for Keeps.
Very smart pick by Heron. He's seen Thrall was overextended. They only send one up, so they do get the damage going in the bottom, kind of delaying him out. And for that, they're going to punish him, take the front wall, and even the well.
Yeah, a very, very nice play there by We Play for Keeps. They've been very heads up on these rotations, and it's been responsive from the Regulators. They have not been actively rotating between these two lanes. They've only been it's only been Nate Dogg coming up to this top lane in response to when Thrall needs help. But we do see Thrall going ahead and going on down. Terrax going after Virus here, trying to get him locked out, but Laz just having just enough healing to keep him up here. They will be able to rotate away. No Mercs taken so far by either of these teams. I imagine the Merc game is going to start soon here, Reaper.
And I'm assuming the top lane, they're probably going to go back, pick up the camps as of now, which you do see the rotation on. They do have the advantage, and this was a smart play by them, because they're not gaining anything in the lanes at the current moment. They've got both forts, so a strong early start for We Play for Keeps.
Yeah, and they are winning the race to 10 by quite a lot here, Reaper. And right around when these beacons start to reactivate is right around when they're going to be getting this level 10. And it's not going to be here for the Regulators. They are going to have to figure out a way to out-rotate these guys to try and stall for level 10. Or this match could end up getting ugly real fast.
And they might be better off maybe 5-man rotating up on the Zagara, maybe taking her out and then maybe rotating back. But we'll see what happens here.
And indeed, we do have those beacons 10 seconds away. Level 10 is here for the side of We Play for Keeps. Ults are getting out here, Reaper.
And we are seeing the Crystal Egg is picked up by Ariel. We're seeing the Upheaval by Cho, the Twisting Nether by Gall, the Rain of Vengeance on Val, and the Mob by Zagara.
And right away, we see the instant rotation from We Play for Keeps. They are right on point, being able to pick up these beacons. And the Zerg are already charging in that top lane. Terrax doing all he can to try and push back with this Merc camp. And Rupp is actually going to rotate up, but here comes Heron around the backside, is going to pressure Rupp right back. And it's like you said, you got a 4-man rotate in the top here. They do rotate, but they're not going to be able to catch anybody out. They are going to be able to take this beacon for the moment and stop the Zerg pressure. They're charged at 58%. But we'll have to see how long that lasts here, as we do see the rotation from Laz is going to create a 3v4 situation with level 10s in play here from We Play for Keeps.
And that's what the Regulators need to do right now. Like, they realize they are a 10 tier down. They got all their alts up still, and they just need to keep 1 point and safe soak this till they get their 10s on the board.
But here comes the entire team, and a 3-man pull in there from Virus, followed up by the Maw. The 2 members are going to die in the Maw, and that is a 3-for-0 exchange. They will recapture this top beacon. The bottom beacon will be rotated on and captured by Nate Dogg, but I think the damage is already done here, Reaper.
And that the wombo combo off that, I could picture it before the game, but nothing's looked so much sexier as them pulling it off in game.
Yeah, when you got to pull it off, you pull it off in the playoffs, right? That's a huge.
And they do play for keeps, and they were showing they do play for keeps on that play.
Yeah, just a really, really big play by them, and that is going to earn them a 100-0 Zerg phase here, as the Zerg are rolling their way on out of that pen in the top lane, and we see the full rotation coming in from the side of We Play for Keeps. They are committing fully, and I think they are playing for this top keep, as you said, Reaper.
Now, as the Regulators, they're going to want to play very defensive behind this wall. They get picked off, this could possibly be the game. But I think they're just going to try and get the keep and then back off safely, maybe rotate, grab some camps on the Regulators side, but we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, they do have ults at this point. They are not a talent tier down, so they can contest here, they can defend, but you're right. You can see they're being pretty cautious about it, not coming out too far. We do see Nate Dogg go ahead and capture him in the middle of that, but we do see the Crystal Aegis coming down, and that is gonna that possible wombo combo is going to proc them to retreat, but they're able to pull in Rupp, and they're going to get at least 1 pick off of this, and they are starting to push in here, Reaper.
And like I said, there's not much they can gain here now. They can grab the keep. I mean, Thrall still has his Sunder up, and they need to get aggressive because they've dropped most of their alts. I mean, Rain of Vengeance and the Maw could be dangerous, but if you look, Cho'Gall's a little bit low. Val and Stagar running low on mana. They should really push in and get aggressive here.
Oh, and they do start to catch Heron out, but a nice Rain of Vengeance to be able to pull away from that. And Laz doing a nice job keeping those heals up. Rupp is coming in, has that Mosh available, but ultimately they're going to be able to back out of this situation before Rupp can make this a fight.
And it was a smart choice on their part. I mean, there was nothing to gain there. There was no way they could push in for the keep. They didn't get aggressive enough with a 100% wave, but it was a smart play by the Regulators to keep them out of their zone.
Yeah, that was a very nice and very critical defense for the Regulators. They do a nice job of fending that off, but at this point, they are down that 13 talent tier, so they got to be careful here. They do send ST Monkeys to go ahead and pick up that bottom camp, but I think that's where the play is now. But oh, here comes the rotation from We Play for Keeps. They are going to go ahead and invade and be able to steal this. It is a 4v5 situation here. However, it is a 4v5 situation without Leoric around. And that is going to be an instant blow up, a 3-for-0 exchange for We Play for Keeps. Very nice invade, and that is going to earn them the keep.
Now you had the 4-man slide on ETC, and I thought maybe he popped the mosh pit there. I know it was a little bit risky, but I mean they did go all in, so you think he would have popped it on the 3-man there.
Yeah, they do end up holding that, I think, a little bit too long. It was too little too late when that did finally come out with that wombo combo potential between Noir and that Twilight Dream and the mosh pit coming out from Rupp. So they are going to end up losing the top keep. Not the end of the world here, but they still need this level 13 as yet again the beacons activate and they are down a talent tier.
And they're really aggressive, and they're playing the Cho'Gall perfectly on point, womboing the ults together. It's just a perfect synergy with the team.
Yeah, they are showing right away that they know how this works, and they are doing a very nice job keeping it up. They are actually going to capture both beacons here. We are going to see the full 5-man rotate from the Regulators to try and capture this top beacon, but right away it's going to be Rupp going down first. However, they do get Cho'Gall, and that is going to proc the instant retreat from Heron and Laz here in the top. We do see the rotation around by Wee Man, but ultimately they're not going to be able to take this top beacon in this situation just yet. So we will probably see a rotation to the bottom by at least one member of the Regulators, but they are still just trying to hold this top point. Laz is actually going to slip in and steal it away for the moment.
And this is what they needed, but they need to take advantage of this now with Cho'Gall being down. They need to really pressure, and I'm surprised they haven't rotated down for the bottom point yet.
Yeah, they go ahead and send Rupp down as soon as he came back, but you're right. This is not going to be a very big charge before Zagara and Cho'Gall rotate to the top. They're going to get some of this percentage, but we'll have to see how long they're able to keep it. Level 16's just about half level away here for We Play for Keeps. They don't have it yet, but the full rotation is coming in here. 4 members are here, and Zagara looks like is actually going to rotate up. So this is going to be a full 5v5 over this top beacon. But they actually don't rotate to the bottom, so the Regulators are still getting this charge. It looks like they're actually going to finish it here. That's a bit of a misplay here from We Play for Keeps.
And they played that well.
Oh, the wombo!
Explosions going off here. 2 members are down,
and
one from either side.
And the very nice Sunder coming in from Terrax, but we've got people blowing up everywhere in these fights. But it is a 4-for-2 exchange here by We Play for Keeps, doing a nice job of hitting those early in the team fight. So that is at least going to forestall a little bit of the pressure that's going to be coming to this top lane. Meanwhile, in the bottom, it's not much of a push, but they do have the camp also pushing in that bottom lane for the side of We Play for Keeps. So if you're going to lose 100% Zerg push, this is kind of the way you want to do it, Reaper.
Well, the Regulators, they played it smart. They had both points. There was no rotate to the bottom. They played it safe. They just kept the points. They wanted the push. We Play for Keeps came in. The Regulators should have backed out, but instead they stayed too long, and they got exploded for it. They got punished hard.
Yeah, that 2-man mob was really, really huge. Wee Man ended up going down to the 2 members that were left from that, but they did end up doing a nice job of at least taking advantage of taking the heroes down that had gotten caught in that and getting what they needed. But they are going to go ahead and pull in Rupp yet again with that Cho'Gall pull-in, and they are bursting him down, and that is going to be 1 dead ETC there as Rupp suffering the price of getting pulled in to this team. And a 4v5 as they push in further. They may be looking to pressure this bottom keep, or at least push them back so they can rotate back out to get camps here.
And who knows, maybe they got boss on the menu, but I doubt it. They'll probably just take the Regulators, Bruisers, go back, get their siege. But I mean, ETC just getting caught out of position there time and time again and getting exploded, and you wonder, is he going to back out a little bit, maybe play a little bit more safe?
Yeah, they've been doing a nice job of focusing him down, but they have also been doing a great job of making sure to force when they have these talent tier advantages. That has been the big advantage from We Play for Keeps all match long, is every time that a big moment happens, every time the beacons come up, every time that they do an engage, they are a talent tier ahead.
So what are we going to see We Play for Keeps? They own the map right now. They got vision. They need to pick a gang somewhere before the points spawn up.
Oh, and it is going to be Nate Dogg. He is going to be able to reap walk away there for the moment, but he gets very, very low as these beacons activate. But this is really the first opportunity, I feel like, from the Regulators. They are not down a talent tier. They are down about 2 levels at this point, but they also have core pressure up in that top lane to worry about. But at this point, they're not down the talent tier. They could compete in a team fight, and it does look like they're looking to force here. Rupp is coming out very, very far, keeping vision on this team, and maybe trying to see where they're rotating and where they're going. But it does look like they're going to rotate right around to this top, but nobody rotating to the bottom. These beacons are going to be owned here by We Play for Keeps until we see a rotation. But looks like they're choosing to... Oh, Noir gets pulled in there from... Oh... And completely blown up. Poor Malfurion, he never had a chance, Reaper.
And he did put off the Twilight, and he should almost save that. And we were seeing Kael'thas getting blown up as well by Cho'Gall, and the advantage goes to We Play for Keeps. This should be an easy 100% Zerg wave for them.
Yeah, it is. We are going to see the forestall by Nate Dogg is going to be able to stop that just in time. But they've got bigger problems as all 5 members pushing into this core, and there is no way. There's no way they can defend this. 2 members down. They're finally rotating around, but the keep is falling, and the core is falling, and We Play for Keeps is going to be able to take game 1 here on Brax's holdout.
An 18-minute match, yeah, it lines up with about the basic time for this match. A very fun map, but if you can't pull off any advantages, it does not go in your favor, and you just snowball and snowball. Constant snowball.
And that is exactly what we saw from We Play for Keeps. They got the advantage early with that big Zerg push in the bottom. They got a keep within they got a fort within the first 5 minutes of the game. They got, about a level and a half lead, and they just never let that go. They just kept pushing it further and further as the match went along, and that was just the end of it from there. They just snowballed, and like you said, they stayed ahead and never let up.
Well, you got the solid Wombos, Cho pulling them in, the Zagara Ma, the Valorane of Vengeance, and the Crystal Aegises were on point all game. But if you look at Vala and Gal's damage together, just a solid output of damage, 130k between the combined 2. Where on the other half, we don't see as much. They need a little bit more burst on there. They needed maybe a different comp for the map.
I agree with you. I think, like you said, early game, they did have a decent strategy for being able to keep up with that Cho'Gall, with Nate Dogg's Leoric, with those constant drain lives that were just wrecking his health pool early game. But once they got to late game, once those Wombos started coming out, they were able to punish any out-of-position player for the side of the Regulators, and they found a few members a few times.
And ETC just couldn't get in range to do what he needed to do. If he got in close, he'd just get blown up, and they zoned him, and perfect combos by the side of We Play for Keeps. Just beautiful.
All right, so we are going to go ahead and take a bit of a breather here to get game 2 set up. Let's see. Have to see where these guys want to take it for game 2. That's the big question. This is going to be map choice for the side of the Regulators. So we'll have to see where they want to go here. It looks like it's going to be Cursed Hollow.
Cursed Hollow. Exciting. So we'll see some globals come out. Probably some Li Ming if she's not banned out, but I mean, I wonder if they're going to go for the Cho'Gall ban just because of how well it was played, but I don't think Cho'Gall is going to be a pick on this map. But
no, it's not a very strong map for him. So I would expect to see something else here. But we'll
probably see a Furion ban to start, probably.
Yeah.
I would love to see some Vikings play. I'm a big fan of the Vikings, and this isn't a bad map for them. Not a bad map for Abathur.
Get these draft links onto these guys. And yeah, it's like you said, this is the home of Abathur. This is his favorite map, a really, really big map where global presence is a premium. Also, a big premium on this map is the concept of getting interrupts. The more harass you have, the more ability you have to interrupt these points. So yeah.
Probably see some Li Ming poke. I don't know. Who knows? They could pick up Kale Thoss again. Really tight areas. Spread that chain bomb around and blow some people up. Won't be surprised to see a Falstad first pick. Maybe a right wing in there somewhere. I would love to see some Medivh play, that's for sure. The portals work really well on this map if you can play around them.
Yeah, we'll have to see if anybody on that side does have a Medivh to break out here. That would be something we haven't seen quite yet in our brief casting history. But I don't know. Once you've seen Cho'Gall, haven't you kind of seen it all, Reaper?
Yeah, the Cho'Gall, very solid in 2-lane maps. And, he looked a little bit weak first. He had Leoric punishing him with the Drain Hope. But when it came down to it, they really dug in and grinded deep for that win. And they knew they'd be stronger at level 10 anyway. They had everything planned out. Like you seen the shotgun picks off the start. Both teams had their comfort picks that they wanted for the maps, and they got it. Maybe their last 2 picks on each team weren't what they wanted, but they played around their team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. But we do have here the Regulators going to take us to their home map. So I imagine if they're breaking out Cursed Hollow here, it is for a good reason. I think when you're in the playoffs and you're down 1 game in a best-of-3 series, you're probably breaking out your best map. Wouldn't you say, Reaper?
Yeah, and like I said, you probably see some Falstad play, some Li Ming play here, but I would be excited to see some Lost Vikings. That's like my favorite hero by far. I would love to see somebody play that. Maybe an Abathur. I'd like to see some Illidan play. Illidan's pretty strong on this map, picked right and picked with the right drafts. So,
and we are underway here for the draft, and it is going to be first pick, first ban, going over to We Play for Keeps this match. Let me go ahead and get the link out to these guys for the observer. That's not the link.
Yeah, I know.
There we go.
So we play for keeps as the first ban, and I'm pretty sure they're probably gonna try and ban the Malfurion out. Then you'll see the Regulators probably banning Samuro. But we do see Sylvanas getting banned right away. She's great push potential on this map, solo laner.
Yeah, so that's been the ban for both of these teams, both matches. So I think they might be a little bit of familiarity coming out between these two teams, realizing that maybe Sylvanas is the weak link on each side, but it is going to proc that Malfurion pickup right off the bat. Nobody wants to let that Druid slide on through. They want to pick it up themselves, Reaper. No surprise. He's one of the most broken heroes in the game right now.
And I mean, the root's so strong. You got the small areas to fight, and that's going to work out very well for them. So they'll probably pair it with some mana users. So maybe they're looking to pick up a Ming, maybe a Kale Thos in their next couple pickups here.
Well, if I know Noir, I would be surprised if we didn't see the Brightwing pickup right here, right now. But, they are going to go ahead and let it slide through. So at this point, with Malfurion already on the table, I guess they're not going to put a huge priority on which healer they want. And with the Vala and Li Ming combo, you could pretty much go with either Brightwing or you can go with Ariel later in the draft, and either one will be fine.
Unless she gets banned out, of course, but they do pick up the strong poke of Li Ming. Very strong here.
Yeah, Li Ming is probably one of the most highly prioritized heroes on this map, and it makes a lot of sense. Like you said, she's got amazing poke and amazing denial on these points, and there are a lot of good angles, a lot of walls that you can hide behind, that you can get those abilities through, and that's what Li Ming's all about, getting those strong angles onto backliners. Li Ming can do that here pretty safely.
We see Alarak picked up, and he's going to have to be on point. He gets Vala come in. He gets Li Ming in his sights. He needs to pull in and get the big silences, the 3-4-man silences, to get any kind of pressure onto the other side.
Yeah, we do also see Muradin coming in, who's a really good hero on this map for the denial. He's able to put good pressure on these tribute points and is able to dwarf toss out when he starts to take a little bit too much heat. And with that third wind that most Muradins pick up at level 1, he does also have the ability to get back into the fight really quickly. He gets one of those renews from Malfurion, and he could be back in that fight in just a matter of seconds with full health yet again.
But with the Val and Li Ming being picked up early, they don't have like their show is already happening here. And I mean, for Muradin, Alarak, and Malfurion, if they're landing roots, their stun silences, it's gonna be trouble for the Regulators.
So we do see the Regulators going ahead and putting that same emphasis on the burst damage dealers. They already have Li Ming, so they do go ahead and ban out Kael'thas again in this match. Meanwhile, we play for keeps with a pretty smart ban out there. They already have Muradin, so they go ahead and ban out the other really strong tank in the meta right now in ETC.
And I'm thinking maybe we play for keeps will pick up Zagar again, since they had a solid Zagar play last game and a good solo laner. So it'll be interesting to see what they pick up. Possibly a Tychus to counter possibly the dual tank that's coming up from the Regulators.
Yeah, we don't see a lot of solo tank Zarya. So I think you're right. That could definitely be a bit of a drafting error here for the Regulators. They realizing that they probably wanted Zarya. I'm a little bit surprised that they didn't elect to ban out Tychus. But again, putting more of an emphasis on Kael'thas. So I would expect to see a couple of backline damage dealers coming out from We Play for Keeps. And with Brightwing on the other side, you would think that they want to go more burst heavy instead of more sustained heavy.
And Li Ming just needs to find her angles, and Falstad's such a solid pick on this map. The global, the disengage and engage with the gust, just a solid overall pick.
And so they got one more spot here. They do have the double front line already with Muradin and Alarak. They've got a very strong solo healer in Malfurion. So what do you think? Where are they going to be going with this last pick here, Reaper?
Well, they did have a strong Zagara play. Now, Tyrande, just out of the blue, did not see that coming. But if you see the stun lock potential in this team, it is disgusting. With the Alarak force pulls, the Discord silences Tyrande's arrow, Muradin stuns Malfurion roots. If someone gets caught out, they are going to be punished hard.
Yeah, and with that trait from Tyrande, the Hunter's Mark, it does give them the opportunity to have really good burst damage on a single target. So you almost, I think, as the Regulators, have to go with a second tank here. You cannot leave that Zarya up on the front line alone, or she is just going to get blown up over and over again throughout this whole match.
And We Play for Keeps has created a nuke combo. Do not get caught in the wake.
And there is going to be nothing that solo support Brightwing can do for you in that situation either. Does have cleanse, but that's about it. And yeah, they are going to go with as tanky a frontliner as you can go with Johanna to be able to try and help Zarya up in that front line against this nuke combo.
And we do need to see Johanna get aggressive. Now with the double tank, she just got to watch out for the combos coming out here and make sure she can stay in the front line. Her big job will be to zone out, let Li Ming find her spots, Vala to pick her shots, and just keep them off the curse contention.
Yeah, and they've picked a very, very good team for being able to poke this out. Every single one of the members of We Play for Keeps, as well as the Regulators, both teams have very good poke potential to be able to deny on these points for days. Particularly with that Tyrande. That's something that we don't see a lot in this game anymore, is the Tyrande pickup. But with that Owl, especially after level 4 when she gets Pierce, she just has the ability to stall that out from anywhere on the map.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how it plays out. And you got the Falstad flying in, so he can get the soak, fly in later in the fights, and it's going to be an interesting match. And I'm excited. Hopefully they can pull it through and bring it to a game 3. It'd be very exciting.
Yeah, this is going to be the map choice on the side of the Regulators, so you would think that gives them at least a little bit of an advantage right out of the gate here. But we'll have to see how the response is from We Play for Keeps. I do think that they've drafted another very, very strong comp like what they had in the last match with Cho'Gall. I think they got exactly what they wanted out of this draft. They're also going to have a lot better sustain with Tyrande and Malfurion on that side of things. They have the ability to sustain for days while they poke and try and set up that combo.
And the question is, do we see them go for a 3-man rotate with one in either lane, or do we see, what do we see here? Like, it's going to be interesting to see what they pull off.
So we are loaded in here for Game 2 here on Cursed Hollow, this Division 1 Chair League match. We do have on the left, it is the Regulators. ST Monkeys is going to be playing Vala. Terrax is going to be on Johanna. Rupp on Zarya. Noir playing Brightwing, and team captain Nate Dogg will be playing Li Ming.
And on the right side, the red team, we play for Keeps. We have Virus on Malfurion. We got Witcher on Alarak, Huron on Falstad, Laz on Tyrande, and Super Tall on Muradin.
Ironic that Super Tall is playing Muradin, but we'll just let that one go for now.
Yeah, that's correct, Jay.
But right away, we do see Air Muradin and Ground Muradin on the right, looking to position, but Terrax going in pretty deep here after Witcher will hit a 3-man condemn as he rotates up to the rest of the team. The pull-in does come in with the Roots, so we already see that CC combo coming out, and these teams not being very patient about feeling each other out here, they're getting aggressive early.
And they're coming out strong and flexing their muscles. They want to see how dominant each team is for when it comes to the curse.
Yeah, right away we see a bit of an advantage, but we over on the side of the Regulators for the rotates for now at least. But we do see both teams have rotated on out to each lane here. Nate Dogg going to be facing Heron in that bottom lane. They send Terrax to counter Witcher up in that top lane, which should be something that Alarak can definitely win in the long game. But it is definitely a wave clear advantage for Terrax. Meanwhile, this 3v3 will continue to poke each other in that mid lane.
And this is kind of what I foreseen coming was the double healer and the Muradin. They can rotate, and they're strong game potential if they can get some picks here.
So they do go ahead and throw down a little bit of that CC on Noir. We'll be able to get out of that situation. We're coming up on that 2-minute mark where we're going to see these Siege Giants coming out for each team. Do you see either team rotating out a hero to try and pick these up?
It's going to be tough for both teams, but if anything, I'd say We Play for Keeps has the advantage. Maybe they'll throw Falstad up there, but it's yet to be seen. No one's backing for the camps as far as I know yet.
Yeah, it does look like both teams are going to go ahead and let those go at this point, but we do see the rotation from Super Tall. maybe trying to look for Nate Dogg. Laz also rotating here, sitting very patiently. Falstad is even going to go ahead and fly down here, and they won't be able to catch Nate Dogg, though. Very, very smart, safe rotation there from Nate Dogg to not go out too far into the lane and just continue that safe soak with missing members on the map.
And it was also in Nate Dogg's favor. He didn't have to rotate anywhere, so he could just safe soak his lane. He didn't need to rotate up or anything.
So we do see the full 5-man rotations coming out here. Both these teams are going to go ahead and hard commit to this. Right away, we do see the pull-in from Witcher missing a little bit there, not getting any real value as Terrax is going in deep to try and get the Condemn out. Rupp starts to cast. That's going to be interrupted, though. And 2-man silence with the stun coming out on Rupp. He's going to have to be careful here. Super Tall actually aggressively dwarf tossing in is going to have to walk away from that situation, but Terrax getting poked down very, very low. Witcher taking a ton of damage also, though, from Nate Dogg, but Nate Dogg completely out of mana in this situation, is not going to be able to keep this up for long.
And they're playing it smart, too. They backed up into the Brightwing heals, and they realize they got to heal up before they can get back in this. But Li Ming, she's got enough mana to self-sustain this poke battle.
Yeah, this double support is really starting to pay off for them. You can see the health coming in, but Terrax will be coming back in with full health, full mana. Super Tall is going to have to dwarf toss out and give him a second. But we do see Alarak going down. Is the first to fall here to the poke over on the side of the Regulators. The patient play pays off here, Reaper.
The question is, are we going to see any rotates for camps at this point? The Regulators did take advantage. They are smooth to rotate, but as you can see, Falstad taking complete advantage of the globals, and it's a close race on experience here.
Oh, and Noir taking that bribe is going to go down and steal the siege camp from We Play for Keeps.
And I mean, the one giant's getting cut off, so they will get some. They will get some of the tower off of this one giant and a steal of the camp, which was a great play by Brightwing. Risky, but a solid choice.
Yeah, and with those quick rotations, particularly from Falstad in that top lane, they knew that they were not going directly after the camp, so that's a really heads-up play by Noir and the side of the Regulators to be able to deny that camp on that bottom lane.
And that younger brother giant of a bully pushed his brother in the lane. It probably could have got a tower if he had not pushed him in range of the shots, but poor giant.
I know that. Man, he always just pushing him right out of that bush into sight range. That's just wrong, man. But we do see the second tribute is spawning. It is going to be a positional advantage for the side of We Play for Keeps. This point, always a little bit of a dangerous thing for the blue team to full commit to with the curvature and the easy retreat rotations for the red team. And it does look like they're actually not going to fully commit to it just yet, as we do see Terrax yet again taking a lot of poke. Heron is casting it, and he's going to get this one uncontested here, Reaper.
And it's not too big of a deal since they do have a little bit of the experience lead, and I think they just want to win the race to 10 and take full advantage of it. But, so you see him to rotate big.
Yeah, and Heron doing a very nice rotation to the bottom lane here is actually going to have a little bit of an opportunity to get a little siege damage out here, as the rotation to this bottom lane very slow on the side of the Regulators, choosing to pressure that mid lane instead.
And it definitely shows in the experience. Like, Falstad, smart play to catch them up, and they couldn't get anything in the middle. They needed to rotate. So it was a little bit slow rotate for the Regulators. Slower than I would have liked to see.
It's going to give up some of that XP advantage. They do still have a little bit of a lead here. But ultimately, oh, and Nate Dogg getting really low. Super Tall, dwarf tossing in to try and get it, but, oh, and the owl!
Oh, the owl just missing.
Just a bit outside.
Could feel the wind off of that one.
I think he might have flicked it a little bit with one of the feathers on the wing, but that was very, very close. Laz almost had himself a no scope kill there.
Johanna
but Noir! Man,
Brightwing games with the feathers of her wings.
So close here, but we are seeing level 10 coming out here for the side of We Play for Keeps, just around the corner. But it has been picked up for the Regulators at this point, and we're going to see that Virus actually not even going to be able to get in Oh, but the Owl's going to stall it out on ST Monkeys. Is Virus going to be able to go in far enough to get this? It does look like they're going to let it go at this point, but the rotate's coming down in here. We also see Nate Dogg trying to pressure Virus. They are on the chase, but they are ultimately just going to back off here. A little bit surprised that we didn't see a little bit more contention there from We Play for Keeps, but they are actually going to be able to take out Taronda here, or the side of the Regulators. That was kind of a sloppy rotate in the mid lane.
And up top, you did see Brightwing bribe the camps, but I think Witcher's going to take him down easy. And Witcher missing the Discord strike earlier to take down Brightwing. Very sad, but, you know, things happen.
Yeah, to be fair, Super Tall also missing the Storm Bolt to be able to get Li Ming. So they are so close here to getting so many of these kills. We Play for Keeps has just been missing it by just a hair. But look at this aggressive rotation here. They are looking for Witcher, and Witcher's not willing to come out too far here with so many people missing. Is actually going to be pushed back, but we do have all of the ults at this point.
And I'm surprised they didn't wait a little bit longer. There was no Gus pushing him into the fort.
We see the Gus, the deadly charge, and the Starfall coming in there.
Dropping hard on top of Team the Regulators, and 3 men are going to get blown up here.
And Virus also being able to keep everybody nice and healthy through that exchange. And they're going to go straight to boss here, as pretty soon we're going to have we do have the tribute actually up in the bottom lane, but that is something that Heron is going to be able to walk his way on down to, while the other 4 members pick up this boss. So very nice play from We Play for Keeps, and also a really nice job of being able to take full advantage of it here. This is scouted out by Nate Dogg, but they're going to turn around on him, but to try and pressure him out here. But are they going to be able to take this in time? The rotation is coming in here from the Regulators.
And it was a smart play.
Oh,
and it's getting crazy in here. And
Nate Dogg.
The pushback and the blow up.
Yeah,
the is down and out.
The rotation just a little bit too slow from the Regulators to be able to get that boss. It was almost in time, but I think it was just the wrong members and the wrong time. Noir also getting pulled in by that telekinesis from Witcher, making the plays here on that Alarak. That's going to be another 2 kills going over to We Play for Keeps. They are starting to snowball here, and now they have a huge positional advantage for this Curse Point tribute.
And with their healer out of the fight, can they even contend? I mean, 7 seconds, so we should see them come in. They have to do something. Getting in too far, getting stunned and blown up by Falstad. Huge plays.
Yeah, and some kind of huge misplays. You know, you gotta call them when you see them. We hate to do that. Oh, the fly-in from Heron is gonna gust too, with the Starfall coming in for that area denial. The charge from Witcher, the silence coming out. The Owl's gonna finish off Johanna, and Rupp is in abject horror here as the rotation comes down, and Rupp will not be able to get out of this. And all of a sudden, We Play for Keeps, putting all the pressure in all the right places and just taking every inch that they can from the mistakes that we're seeing from the Regulators, from these rotations, and the positional advantages just keep coming for We Play for Keeps.
And the feels for the Regulators, they were in top lane, not showing, waiting on the Alarak, and I feel like they charged in too early, and that kind of swung the game and the sound of things, and they were able to rotate up on them. They could have waited a little bit longer. Obviously, We Play for Keeps knew they were hiding somewhere, but they should almost use that to their advantage.
So we do see the area denial there coming in from Rupp, but ultimately they are going to end up getting the keep there. The fort's also going down in the mid and bottom lane, and the damage coming out. Nate Dogg and Terax very low. Noir going to go ahead and pop that Emerald Wind to try and give him a little bit of room, but ST Monkeys is going to end up coming out too far and is going to get completely blown up. And with that 3-level advantage here, We Play for Keeps not letting the Regulators get away with anything right now. And Nate Dogg actually using the Calamity to try and clear, and that is going to be punished as well. We Play for Keeps just punishing really hard here, Reaper.
Now the question is, do they go and trying to push in for this keep? Or are they going to play safe and rotate down to the Regulators boss, which looks like it might happen? Maybe pick up the Bruisers along their way. Would probably be the best bet for them.
Yeah, they'll give them something to clean up while they're doing the boss, and yeah, this should be a pretty easy boss take with Li Ming still out here. There actually doesn't look like they're going to go after it here. They might just settle for Bruisers.
And they do have a 3-level lead and a talent tier up, so they're probably going to pick their fights elsewhere. Falstad getting the soak. He can fly out anytime necessary. They got the vision on the map. Now it'll be interesting to see what kind of plays they'll make. They're probably going to set up for a gank somewhere, but who knows? Who knows with the Regulators what they're going to do? They're probably going to put vision on the boss. They're scared and probably think they're already there taking it.
Yeah, we do see Terrax rotating around to at least check it, but it is the siege camp that they actually went for here, and they are just continuing to look for these picks, look for any sloppy rotations. The Chinese bush meta is on hard here by We Play for Keeps.
And this is what I mean. I mean, they got the Toronto L, so they can scope out the positions and kind of pick a spot, and the tribute is in their favor and on their side, right near the boss, too.
Yeah, and they are waiting for this rotation coming in from the Regulators, but I think at this point they realize they don't have 16. They are not even going to try to contest. They're going to send a few members out to lane the soak here. And even the boss contention here would be incredibly risky for the Regulators. You know they've got to be burning at this point to want to try and pick a fight to try and come back in this match. But they need the tools. They need those level 16 talents to be able to have any kind of hope of mounting a comeback here.
And they're playing very safe, but Nate Dogg and Nor in trouble as Nor gets dived on, stunned out, silenced, and he's exploded into many pieces.
Yeah, tried to pop that Emerald Wind, but it did get silenced out by the Alarak. Or possibly stunned by Super Tall. It's hard to tell. Maybe even Laz. There's just so much CC over there. It's impossible to know for sure. But the boss in the siege camp is pushing in the bottom lane here. And this is going to be at least another keep, if not the game already. Going over to We Play for Keeps. They do dive in. We do see ST Monkeys doing what he can with that strafe. But we do see the charge in from Witcher with the silence. And right away, Vala goes down.
The root on Vala and just destroying her instantly. And it looks like they're going for core.
And why wouldn't you at this point? You got the boss pushing in with the siege camp. With Vala down, not a whole lot they can do. Heron is going to go ahead and gust in to be able to get a couple more out of position here as they push in. But that is going to be it. We Play for Keeps with a very clean 2-game series. We'll take it 2-0 over the Regulators in this Division 1 top 16 match.
And the nuke was real. The nuke was real. Alarak topping some damage charts there. Li Ming not getting the resets and potential she needed. I mean, like I said, you got the roots, you got the silences, the stuns. It just perfect use of gusts, and they just came out on top. Strong games.
Yeah, they just played it perfectly from top to bottom. I feel like we saw some serious team synergy coming out from We Play for Keeps in these two matches. They just did an amazing job playing on the same page, playing to the strengths of their comps, and any time they found anybody on the Regulators out of position, they punished so hard. It was just really impressive to see here, Reaper.
Yeah, they worked very well together. I mean, you probably did see some nerves in there, some misses, but it happens to the best of us, right? It doesn't always work in your favor, but they played their team comps perfectly. They knew what they wanted for the maps. They drafted for it. Maybe the Regulators had a little bit too much of a show, but great games for those guys as well. So give it up for both teams.
Yeah, for sure. You got to respect the side of the Regulators. They were down and out a lot through a lot of that second game. They just never gave up. They kept coming back. They gave it their best shot, especially in the defense in the bottom lane. But yeah, just a little bit too much pressure throughout the whole match. But let's go ahead and get in Team Captain Virus for a little post-game interview here. excited to talk to him about this team. We've seen We Play for Keeps in the past quite a bit here in Chair League. They're very constant. They've been around for quite a while, and they're as far as I can tell, I think Laz might be new to the team, but their roster has been very consistent throughout as long as I've been following them, at least for these last couple seasons. So, going to be really exciting to see them go on to the top 8 next week.
And with them playing as well as they did tonight, they could possibly be contenders for top spot. They look pretty solid. Rotations, combos, stun the silences, just on point. Great games to watch. Great teamwork from both teams.
Yeah, I think if next week's opponent is trying to look to this match for weaknesses, Reaper, I don't think they showed many.
But they did definitely get some of their comfort picks shown. But I mean, if you got a pocket pick like Cho'Gall, who else? What else is in their tickle trunks of treasure? You know.
Yeah, you gotta wonder, a team that's deep enough to be able to have a Cho'Gall comp ready to pull out in in playoffs. You gotta figure they've got really deep hero pools to be able to pull out a lot of different things.
And they wanted it. It looks like they've played it pretty well, and they did what they needed to do tonight. And congrats to them for moving on to their next playoff position.
All right, so we're gonna see about getting Virus on in here for that post game interview. Let me see if he's around. There we are.
Oh, hey, there we
There we are.
Hey,
Joined.
how's it going, Myris?
going. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Nice, solid matches tonight. So, we were really excited about that Cho'Gall pick, and that just obviously means like your guys' hero pools are pretty deep. I know we don't want you to give away anything, but how deep do those pools go? Do you have some neat compositions you have for future matches coming up?
Not really. Super and I have been Super Tall, and I have been trying to get um better practice with Cho'Gall. So we've been practicing a bunch and find out that he's when at least you play quick match, he's very hard to counter once you start to get good with him and understand his talents. Like one of the reasons we picked the Braxis holdout map was because he's actually quite underrated at clearing the Zerg waves. Is like once you get his level 13 talent with the rolling bomb that resets every time it hits something, you can reset it instantly pretty much on the Zerg waves, and you can just keep throwing bombs nonstop to destroy the whole entire Zerg wave. So
And I mean, paired with the Ariel with the Aegis shield and the Vala, such a strong combo there.
yeah, the Aegis definitely helped when Leo was one we were afraid of. On the first two picks, we were contemplating between. We know we wanted Ariel, but we were trying to think of whether we wanted to pick Vala first or Leoric. The last couple of times we tried to pick Leoric or ban Leoric, the other team kind of figured out our strategy and ended up banning Cho'Gall. So believe it or not, the last two Chair League games they banned Cho'Gall on us, which we've wanted to try for so long, but we kind of thought, that we could deal with Leoric. With the upheaval, we'll just pull everyone in, and the Aegis really helps out when I get trapped or as Cho.
And like me and Jay were talking, they were perfectly comboed together.
But
So yeah, Cho'Gall, he's a fun character to play when you start to get good with him, I think.
yeah, then in game 2, we saw some really solid team synergy coming in from you guys with that with those CC combos. How long and how often have you guys played together to develop that kind of team synergy?
Played since Cheer League season 1, all of us pretty much together. So we've got a pretty good synergy down. I think in some of the previous games, maybe we've lost in the draft, but I mean, as far as getting that synergy down, we're getting pretty good at it. So, but upheaval into Twisting Nether is just powerful on Cho'Gall, and then you bring everyone in, and then Vala was there with the follow up, and then Maw was away. So.
Oh, the Maws were huge, and like he said on Cursed Hollow, you guys played very well. The new combo, like the stuns, the silences, the roots, like there was nothing you could do. The aggressive gusts, which worked perfectly in your favor, like just well played all around.
Oh yeah, Heron's a good Falstad, so gotta give him credit for that.
Yeah, I think that's definitely an MVP style performance there from Heron in that second match. It was totally incredible Falstad play. So what are you guys looking forward to? What is kind of your guys' goal moving on forward here? We've got, of course, Season 3 finishing up here with the playoffs, which I'm sure you guys have that T-shirt in your sights at the end. Do you guys have any goals toward the HGC Open that's coming for 2017? Any future goals you guys have?
Well, that sounds fun, but I think a lot of us just don't have the time. I think that's one of we were in Pro Division last season, but this season we kind of asked Brajova if we can move down because we just haven't had the time to play, at least some of us, or we haven't played as much as a team this season as we have in the previous couple seasons. Like we haven't practiced much team league at all. So as far as HGC Open, I'm probably not that great. I mean, I'm chair league material, so I mean, I'm casual, but maybe some of our other teammates might try out for something. They're pretty good, so.
You do see the NA scene right now fairly weak with a couple of the teams, so you never know.
Yeah, I have seen some of the NA teams, and they do seem kind of weak. I mean, I'm not in Hero League. I'm not Master or Grandmaster, but I'm Diamond, and I have played some of these people before. So I mean, they're definitely leaps and bounds ahead of me, but played with them. And
during BlizzCon coming up, is there any heroes that you're hoping to see get announced in the future here?
well, I think BlizzCon generally has a history for the weird heroes. Like last year, you had Cho'Gall. I think the year before that was the Lost Vikings. So I'm hoping just for like a new unique hero that just is something unlike any other MOBA has. So another unique hero like Cho'Gall is kind of what I'm looking for. I don't have a specific, I guess, character in mind per se.
So you're thinking like maybe a 5-man ultimate where they join up and transform into one.
That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool.
Power Rangers confirmed.
I don't know. I'm always a fan of like the Diablo franchise, so I think maybe some of the other bosses like Mephisto and Baal would be pretty cool to see in the game, and maybe even the Druid hero, and not Malf. I know he's a Druid, but I'm one that can shapeshift.
Yeah, but in all honesty, they're probably going to drop Varian and the old war chief.
Vol'jin,
I'm thinking.
Yeah, I have seen that the leak of all those heroes that some guy posted on some forum where he was calling them all, and he's been pretty on spot for most of them. So I don't think there'll be any. Now Decker Kane, he'd be cool.
Yeah, no, I think you're right though. You're onto something with the druid thing. I think they could introduce Brawl Bearmantle would be pretty cool. But he's a good old druid from the lore that we've seen around a bit.
So the Deckard Cain play, you'd pick him and he just walks slowly across the map, and as soon as he hits the other core, that's game win for you.
Yes, yes.
All you have to do is just get him to the core, and then he's just winning.
Yeah, just that slow walk, you have to dodge and read the bambos.
No, they actually
I
had
don't know
come
if he
up
does
with a pretty good. They'd actually come up with a pretty good one on Carbot. It would be cool if one of those is Deckard Cain.
I saw that one. Yeah, stay a while and listen.
Yeah.
So amazing. So amazing, those videos. Love the work they do.
Well, I don't know if you guys are interested, but I know there are two other of my teammates. If you want to interview them, they're available.
Yeah, for sure.
Or
Let's
if
go
you
ahead
gotta
and
get to another game.
go ahead and get these guys in real quick. Little.
Laz is one of them. I think he's here.
I'm always down for a party.
I think Laz and maybe Heron. They join here.
So any teams you're excited to watch and see play at BlizzCon here? Like, are you guys following closely the Korean scene? I know those two teams, Ballistics is strong right now and MVP Black, but is there someone you guys maybe take some strategies or plays off of?
That would actually be a great question for Heron, probably more or less. He's the guy that watches the stream. I mean, I catch him when I can. But I don't even know who the NA team is. I know MVP Black because they've obviously been pretty dominant. Please Buff Arthas is another one I've seen a lot of. But who is the NA team? Is it
Astral Authority right now, and you also have Glorong's team
Yeah, it's
as well.
Man,
the name tip of the tongue.
So it looks like Heron just made it in.
Oh, there
so
we
if you
go.
want to, he follows all that. So
There we go.
So
Joined by MVP Heron. There's some of the brilliant Falstad play. How's it going, man? How you feeling after that match?
I'm feeling good. Wasn't my best Falstad game, but glad that I was able to pull it out in the end.
So we're now made to believe that you're possibly the shot caller, maybe the one who goes through the strategies, watches the pro teams, maybe bring in some strategies from the Korean teams or plays. Can you touch on that a little bit?
I wish I was as good as the Korean teams. I mean, I do watch a lot of the pro teams. I'm very excited for tomorrow to see what they have to bring out. But as far as the shot calling itself, I just do the best that I can. Capitalize on situations where you have the advantage, back off if you don't, just simple things like that, and just keeping track of timings, rotations, camps, just small things.
And I mean, it's a little bit harder on a global, but then again, you're always looking for some fly-ins, some picks, but strong play, very, very strong play by you guys. And you're not getting too aggressive.
I was gonna say I might be like the captain on paper, but Heron's definitely the one that I think carries a lot of us. He's
I just do the shot calling. I
hate heroes.
I hate drafting. I do it for I play on the college team, and it's one of my least favorite things of doing right now, just because you have to keep in mind hero pools, things that people are comfortable with. So it's just it's an interesting dilemma to be put in.
Very modest team too, passing off the leadership to anybody they can. You got any questions there for him, Jay?
No, I think we've covered quite a lot of it. We are also joined here, though, by Lazarus, Tyrande in that last match. There was a lot of good, solid follow-up for you guys in the CC combos. I was really, really impressed that you guys, had that level of synergy. We kind of asked Virus how long it took for you guys to develop that, and you guys have been playing together for quite a long time. Would you guys agree with that it's just more of a time-in thing than just the kind of players that you are?
Probably just time spent together, because we don't really have, say, a shot caller, but we've really learned over the last year how to not talk over each other too bad. So everyone's ideas get thrown out.
So I noticed you picked up Starfall and Tranquility. Now, was that even a doubt in your guys' mind, or maybe you guys were thinking for the Twilight Dream and maybe the sneak attacks? Was that a possibility in the game as well, or what changed your mind on those alts?
Well,
I think it. Oh, go ahead, Aaron. You'll say the same thing.
Yeah, probably. We knew that if Mouth was going to get any value, or a significant amount of value out of Twilight Dream, that he would have to be out of position with the triple backline that they had. So we just thought the safest bet, because their only real burst damage was Li Ming. So we thought that if we could get value out of Starfall, that would be enough, and it wouldn't put Mouth in a dangerous position just to get value out of Twilight Dream.
Very smart plays too. Without them being able to dive in, I can see why the decision was made.
So one of the other things we've been asking people throughout the week, especially of these teams that we're seeing are having success in the playoffs, a lot of teams have to be modeling themselves, or a lot of players have to be thinking to themselves, how do I get to that point? So do you guys have any advice for up-and-coming Heroes of the Storm players out there on what kind of things they can do to start building themselves in the Heroes community and finding a good team and all that kind of stuff?
I think, at least from my perspective, you just got to find a good group of people to work with, and you can't get upset over losses. You have to just, I think that's what's been really good with us, is we've just, even though we've had losses, we just get over them. We just shake them off. Yes, we can be a little salty about it loss. I mean, we're competitive. We want to win, but at the same time, it's like, it's just a game. So it's like, okay, no big deal. Brush it off, move on to the next one, or, and I think that helps a lot, is when we don't have a lot of toxicity on our team. It's just, we're all casually playing together, just trying to have fun and have a good time. And if we lose, we lose. If we win, fantastic.
We really don't take our losses hard at all.
Sometimes you just need a good old table flip, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that would be super tall.
Well,
Well-
just spins them off, maybe not even in your head.
Well, when you're putting a
Okay,
guy
so-
named Super Tall on Muradin, that's got to be frustrating, right? I mean, I threw that joke out earlier, but... Oh, so...
that was a good one. He's not in the channel, but he's up there.
There he is. Let's bring on Super Tall on down here while we're at it. How's it going, man?
It's going really well. I could hear you in the background, but I think that was because of some other kind of chat we're using. So now it's actually working. So now it's great. I'm doing really well. Feel great. Feel good.
I just said if anybody out of us was going to flip over a table in frustration of losing a game, it was going to be you.
I'm just passionate, man. I get fervent at times. I get frustrated because I believe that we should be able to do things that, like we shouldn't lose to just a simple bad draft, which, like Virus said before, is probably our main thing. I would say just because we overthink almost everything. I know I'm guilty of that a lot, which is why
we do tend to
certain
overthink
people
a lot.
are better at picking than others, because I'm like, well, what if they do this? And then they go that, and we got to do that and this. And then they're like 9 moves back, and you're like, shut up, dude. It's not chess.
And did you find the nerves hit you guys in these games, or was it fairly calm for you guys?
I just enjoy playing the games. Like, I don't get like edgy or anything like that until afterwards, or if there's a pivotal moment that's about to happen. Like, say we're waiting for a gank push or something like that. That's only times like that I can feel like the adrenaline just like kick in, and then I'm alive, and then I don't want it to end. But then the game
showed
ends.
in your safe play as well. You guys got the great pick keep. You got the keep picked off top. Then you got some picks in the middle. You took the bruisers, and you obviously knew you weren't going to get any value off at the boss. Let alone it could have been just a throws, and you guys backed off. Like, nice plays all around, guys. Congratulations, and good luck in your later rounds.
Thank you very much.
You guys have any shout-outs or anything you guys wanna throw out there before we say adieu for the night?
I want to shout out to the Zengo guy. learn to draft so I don't have to do it. Also, we need to try more drafts. That's my shout out.
Thanks for casting, guys. We
Yes,
appreciate
thank
it.
you.
And the interviews, even though I was late because I'm bad.
No, I love the interviews. I love the casting, man. You're one of my favorites.
Thank
He's
you.
in one
We-
of, not the.
Okay.
So remember that. I'm sorry, I'm trying to incite stuff. I'm a terrible
Oh
person.
my god.
This is why I don't let me talk to people.
That's why they kept you in the higher channel there.
No,
Now,
like, stop.
Well, thank you very much, guys. We appreciate it for you guys coming in and joining us and hanging out with us after the match. Again, congratulations. You guys certainly earned it this week, and we'll be looking forward to seeing how you guys do next week in the top 8.
Again,
Thank
thanks
you.
for casting. And,
Thanks.
yep.
And much love for the viewers for coming out and watching the matches, and also the regulators for coming out and playing their best.
Yeah, they definitely put up a good, solid show for us today. Again, I've followed the Regulators throughout the season. They're a good, solid team and a good group of guys. So big shout out to them. Thank you again, guys, for joining us for this early match here today. And we'll see you guys next week for more Chair League action. We'll be picking up as many of those playoff matches in the top 8 as we can for next week. And coming up next here, we got Divine 9 team practice. So we're going to be going ahead and bringing in Ice Fox, Rabid, and Taco when they all get online here in just a few minutes. We're going to go ahead and restart the stream. But if you guys want to check out our team practice, we'll be doing Team League in just a few. So we'll hopefully see you guys then.
Much love, guys.